If you've wanted, in the past few years, an opportunity to have a one-to-one Zoom consultation with your favourite fragrance reviewer, I've got some bad news. Jeremy Fragrance doesn't do fragrance consultations. But if you, for the past few years, have been dreaming about having a one-to-one Zoom fragrance consultation with your second favourite fragrance reviewer, I'm sorry, Michelle doesn't. Okay, if you have been dreaming for the past few years about having a Zoom fragrance one-to-one consultation with your 75th favourite fragrance reviewer, Dan Mr. Smelly still doesn't do fragrance reviews. He does do live streams though. I'm kidding. Mr. Smelly's isn't anybody's favourite in any way. Nobody likes him. But if you have been wanting to talk to arguably the funniest, most interesting and most creative fragrance reviewer of all time. For fuck's sake, Chris isn't doing fragrance consultations. Anyway, if you want a fragrance consultation, Zoom one-on-one with me, you now can. Thank you to all of you who have been guinea pigs, who have been doing all the fragrance consultations with me. $85 for 45 minutes. I have been doing fragrance consultations in person for many years. I worked in stores such as Selfridges, Harvey Nichols, House of Fraser. I was literally taught how to help people with finding their fragrance taste by Christian Dior. Not actual Christian Dior, he's dead. That would have been weird. But thank you to all the people who already signed up to it and had a great time. It was wonderful. You can just click the Calendly link below and you can follow the instructions and we can get a Zoom consultation set up. How's it going? So, what brought me back into the fragrance game? Could it be the love of fragrances? Could it be the admiration of my fans? Could it be that I've got a Patreon that's running at $12 and a fragrance consultation that's now running at $85 and, you know, the cost of living crisis has gone up? Who knows? There'll probably be like a really reasoned and diplomatic and fair, debate about why I've come back, probably on Oda Jerks. So if you want to go check that out. Anyway, I'll tell you one of the main reasons why I've come back, and it's this. We've all had periods of time where we have not enjoyed this fragrance hobby. We feel as though we've smelt everything, we've enjoyed all the fragrances that could be enjoyed, and it's a done deal. It's over, and we've come to the end of our journey. I felt that many times. I think it's completely fair enough to feel that, by the way. I think it's a completely fair thing to feel that. And when you're a fragrance collector and you've been collecting fragrances as long as I've been doing, which is, I don't know, at least 10 years at this point, you're like, it's over, it's fine, it's whatever. And especially in the designer realm, because the designer realm is just so repetitive and so boring. And I said repetitive, didn't I? But then Chris, my good friend, introduced me to this. And when I first smelt it, I thought it was baller. I thought it was absolutely banging. But then I bought this thing, I kind of technically blind bought it. Well, I didn't because it already smelled it, but you know what I mean? Like, I took a leap of faith because I thought, I remember that being so good, I don't want to test it, I just want to get it. And Jesus Christ. In fact, Fragrance Jesus, cheers for this one. I feel as though you answered this one personally, mate. It is like they answered a personal prayer to me, because pure malt, gone, vanished, disappeared into the wilderness. Dior Original, they pretended that they were going to keep it and they were going to save it, and then they didn't, and now that's gone to the wilderness. And then Givenchy took Dior and they took Pure Malt and they smashed it together and they made this. But there's just layers in this thing. The iris note, a very, very overused note in the fragrance world these days. They took that iris, they gave it a loving tantric sexual massage, and then they got elements of a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of caramel. There is like a sort of a dried caramel toffee kind of smell, like caramel purely from like a Mars bar, right? I'm not the biggest fan of Mars bars, but that sort of slither of caramel, they took that out, they injected it into this with the whiskey, with the sexy yoga. It's like a sexy yoga teacher iris, like a beautiful feminine sort of sexy yoga teacher that you're pretty certain has been watching you the whole class, and you're thinking to yourself, you know something, I think I could make it with this yoga teacher. You've got a beautiful slim tan body and she's looking at you and you're thinking, you know something, I know that she says that she's got a husband, but I'm up for the challenge. So you take the sexy yoga teacher iris, and what is happening to me? Why am I talking like this? Am I fucking Jeremy? I sound like I'm Jeremy. Guys, She's a sexy yoga teacher. Craft! I don't know what's going on, to be honest. So you get that, and then you get the beautiful chocolatey caramel thing going on, and you get the, like, it's like crystallized caramel. You put that all together, you've got one hell of a sexy, luxurious fragrance. I haven't even mentioned the booze yet. This reminds me of, like, I have it actually. Just give me a minute. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this chair. So this is fantastic. This is actually like a whiskey that's interlaced with like Werther's Originals. I don't know if I think that's a very British sweet. Don't know if you guys have it over in North America or anywhere else. But this is like a whiskey. It's got that kind of whiskey bitey kind of taste, but it's mixed with a Werther's Original. It's called Ledig. 10, it's from Tobermory, which is, I think, the Isle of Mull, which is a really, really beautiful island. So it's like the sexy Irish teacher, not the sexy Irish yoga teacher. That's a different video. But the sexy iris mixed in with, instead of like the creamy vanilla that was in Dior Homme, you get some toffee, caramel, and whiskey. So let's start the review. I mean, I've basically just told you everything that I feel, but let's do the sort of the proper procedure. Would you like this? Mate, if you don't like this, I don't really want to know you, to be honest, because this is just absolutely freaking banging. This is just beautiful. It's got the sexy element of Dior Homme. It's warming, it's cozy. It's, you know, it's a distinguished gentleman, very handsome gentleman who's, you know, very muscular, very sleek, like I will be in a few months. Really attractive guy, and kind of a modern guy as well, modernly dressed, modern suit. But he's in a, you know, Scottish castle. The candles are on, the fire is on, and he's drinking whiskey. I have Midjourney. I don't know if you know that, the AI artwork thing. I call him Edwin. He's my like personal artist. So Edwin, could you paint a picture of what I just described with Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privee? There it is. In fact, we've got this one, we've also got this one, and we've got this one. So that, or these, are the image that come to mind when I think of this. If you're that guy, or you want to be that guy, then this is for you. But seriously, if you don't want to know about this fragrance, you might as well unsubscribe now, because this is like, as far as autumn and winter is concerned, this is my taste pretty much put into a bottle. Maybe not winter actually, but autumn. As far as autumn is concerned, this is pretty much my taste refined. Presentation. This is my favorite Givenchy bottle. Also, you know, just wicked points, because this is I suppose this is a little bit lighter, but you've pretty much got the same kind of color hue as actual whiskey, and also the Tobermory whiskey that I have here. Stylish, it's sexy, very much like the fragrance itself. It's cool. I like the font. I mean, look, it's the same bottle that we've seen before with Eau de Boise and Gentleman Cologne and all that good stuff, but there's just something next level about this. The font color I really love, the logo on the back, and it's just the color scheme really, really kicks ass. So that's a 5 out of 5 from me. Look, I've told you already all about the scent, you already know that, but the rating, I'm gonna give this fragrance a very, very rare, you know, my rarest rating. I think I've only given this rating or award to 3 other fragrances, and that's a 6 out of 5. This deserves it. This scent, when I smelt this, it got me juiced up about fragrances again. It got me interested in fragrances again. Projection longevity, it's uncanny actually. The performance is very similar, if not the exact same, of Pure Malt by Terry Mugler. I think that's a coincidence. I don't know if they tactically did that to remind people of Pure Malt, but it is very similar to Pure Malt in the way of, it opens very strong, you know, 2-3 hours, really, really good. I think the projection is actually very, very decent, very strong. I've worn this in colder days, and it still is working on me. So I'd give it a 4 out of 5. The longevity is a little bit weaker than I would like in a whiskey, boozy, irisy, chocolatey, toffee-based fragrance. I'd want a little bit more. So my expectation is quite high, but I think that it's reasonable. It's reasonable for most people. I get about 6 to 8 hours, which that's a long time, okay? But you know, when I've got like tobacco vanille, or I've got, I mean, Peter's new whiskey fragrance, Elixir. That thing lasts, you know, forever. You have to shower that off to, you know, to get it off of you. So there's heightened expectations with this genre of fragrance, but also I'm thinking it's a designer. I'm happy to give it a 3 out of 5. It's completely reasonable. It's fine. This is one of the best designer fragrances, if not the best designer fragrance that I have smelled in years. And I'm so happy to own it. I'm so happy to have it. I'm already thinking about getting a backup bottle. I swear to God, if they discontinue this, I swear to God, I will make it my personal mission to make Givenchy suffer. Givenchy, you're hearing it from the Fragrance Apprentice. I forbid you to take this away and to discontinue it. I won't be happy. If you're someone who has been following my channel and following my taste for the past 10 years, and you feel as though we're pretty mono on mono, as in you feel that we have the same, or at least very similar taste, this is a must try for you. In fact, well, I'm not going to ask you to blind buy it because results may vary, buyer beware, right? But if you can get a decent, you know, decant, 10, 15 ml decant, or something like that, I can assure you it's going to be worth it, okay? That's an amazing fragrance. It's a 5 out of 5 fragrance. Shout outs to Patreon gang. I love you. You are my family. You are the greatest freaking subculture of the fragrance community ever, and I really appreciate it. The Patreon is so cool, it's amazing. I've also started a Patreon Discord that you can sign up to if you sign up to the Patreon, and by joining the Patreon you'll experience exclusive behind the scenes footage, exclusive reviews, podcasts, lots of fun, live streams, all that kind of thing, and you'll be contributing to making these videos as awesome as they hopefully are. So in conclusion, this is freaking awesome. You need to check it out. Thank you. Bye.